Namaste. Most of us struggle to identify what is God's plan or what is the path aligned for me from the God's plan point of view, and what is that thin line between growth mindset and realigning with my divine plan. So, in this video, let's talk about it very briefly. To begin, surrendering doesn't mean you need to take an action. It always begins with an inquiry, a self awareness about our own ego's loop. What is ego's loop? Which is like a defense mechanism we create a false identity based on our past life experiences, or past life experiences which are based on survival. So we make certain decisions without our knowledge or with our knowledge that I need to fix something, I need to be like this, I need to control, I am not loved, or I'm nobody, I'm a failure. Whatever that is, either with yourself or your generations, your lineage, or some celestial beings have cursed you, or you are caught by some sattvic forces, Saitan forces. So, any of these will lead into you believing that this is me, and that translates into this life through your subtle body experiences, energetic body, and aligns with your chakras and influence your subconscious conditioning, through which you start to believe them, or believing this is my personality. So the kind of experiences, the kind of learnings you would have will be surrounded by either I need to heal this, fix this, achieve this, or improve on this so that I can be worthy, I can be successful, I can be loved, I can be rich, I can be something which you wish to desire. Okay, so unfortunately, these mostly of these karmic imprints or patterns that we are talking are not very obvious in the beginning. So we need to slow down. We need to give lot of focus on observing our compulsions beneath our goals. Why do you want to achieve this goal? Is it to fix something? Is it to achieve something, improve something, so that finally you will be worthy? Finally, you will be successful. Finally, you will be loved. Finally, you will not be rejected. Finally, you will be accepted. Any of your goals, if it is fueled from scarcity, comparisons, or fear of insignificance, that means that's not something aligned with divine plans. So, what are the indicators that you need to watch out for is if your goals are coming from a frustration or from a repetition, meaning I didn't achieve one, so I'm going to go back and again and again, again and again, again and again work on it. External validation, if that's your driving force to achieve something, or we are chasing something to prove somebody something, or to prove someone wrong, or some to prove someone right. And if there is a chronic dissatisfaction despite you doing every single thing, that means your ego is driving your growth mindset. Your goals are fueled by your false identity. So it's like a shadow side, which is enabling you to work on your goals, but that is coming from a lack or scarcity or a limiting belief. But if your goals are aligned with divine growth, you naturally feel drawn to this path because it feels like something is unfolding in front of you. Something is getting better. You feel like there's a kind of acceptance, there is a kind of peace that is coming in your heart, and there is a lot of joy while doing this. And the signs you might want to watch out is when I'm knowing that, please note, when you start to work on something which divine is wanting to align yourself with, you might have an inner resistance. You have made another video on how to overcome that inner resistance. If you have not watched it, please do watch. Despite that inner resistance, once you take actions aligned with divine plan, what emerges is a sense of peace, a sense of effortless discipline towards doing things. And even that effort is terrifying to you in the beginning, you will be left with a sense of peace, a sense of calmness amidst uncertainty, because you're not knowing where the path goes on to, but just because you are drawn to it, you're taking some actions. So what are some thin line you might want to look when you're looking at growth mindset and surrendering is, when growth mindset talks about I can improve, the divine surrender says I am being reshaped, I offer myself to be reshaped. Okay, so here in the growth mindset, when is that line of divine alignment is crossed is when the effort that you're doing is coming from a compulsion, not being in the present moment. It is backed by fear, scarcity, and the goal is more important. How you achieve that goal becomes important than the truth of the moment. You're willing to sacrifice all your happiness, your peace, just for the idea of progress. So, if a path is making you more whole and more open and more more feeling like you are taken care, or all the forces are coming for you to achieve that particular goal, there are some positive movement. You don't feel stagnancy. There is no force. It just happens. Then it is backed by divine plan. If at all the goal that you're working is looking more tense, more self-rejecting, more effort, more pressure, but landing up nowhere with little or in any progress, despite best efforts, then you might want to relook whether your goal is aligned with divine plan or not. So, what are some simple steps you can look at? How you can look at karmic awareness, the karma I am to work on in this life, and the dissolution of ego from the steps of surrender. Let's relook that part. So, whenever you're compulsively doing certain things to please somebody or prove somebody, you are taking an action which is not aligned with your divine self. You are doing that action coming from a ego and the fear that at least when I please somebody, when I prove that I am somebody, people will accept me. People will not humiliate me. People will not judge me. From there, what do I do? Ask yourself when you're doing that action, am I doing this action because it feels natural? It is what is truth for me? Or is it that I'm afraid not to do certain things? Is it like if I don't do this, I will be penalized, I will not be accepted, I will be humiliated, I will be judged. So if I am in the good books of somebody, maybe I will not. So let me push myself to do things which I may not like at this moment just because I'm scared of the consequences. So deep down, please relook what are those three things that you're doing. Inside is saying, yes, please do, just do it. Okay. But you are resisting. What are some things in your life that you want to do? Inside, there is a lot of fear, but every single time when you are about to not do it, there's something inside you which says, just go ahead, do it, do it, do it. And whenever you're attempting to do it, there's a kind of energy surge, there's a kind of stabilizing that things normal for you, or there's a calm that is emerging within you after you do that. Just relook these things if that's something which can give you a cue. So, doing what aligns is your anukulasya sankalpa, which is what we are looking at. Shift what is not to be done to you're doing some things to prove something. From there, shift it to truth. Do it because you feel it is the truth. If you feel no, see how you can not do it. Okay? So then avoiding misaligned actions. That's your step 2. Pratikulyasya varjanam. What is that? Because of the fear that in case if I don't do certain things, I will be sabotaged. I will be humiliated, or I will be not loved, or I will be rejected. I will be uh, given some severe actions which hurt me. That is the karmic loop. So what we end up doing, we avoid those things. We don't want anyone to uh, be unpleased with us. So we don't say no. We just accept every single thing. We have we just think of as a way that this is what adjustment means. We tell ourselves that it's okay if it is all good, if it is all fine, I'm okay. I don't have to fight for what I mean to write. If this is bringing harmony, I don't have to take some actions. But after I do that, my being shrinks. I feel suffocated. I feel I have no freedom. I get lot of fatigue. I get lot of loss of, I mean, I keep ruminating about how other people are taking me for a ride. So all of this is something which is not aligned with your divine plan. So what you might want to do, you need to look for that hooks. Where am I getting defensive? Where am I trying to control? Where am I overthinking? Instead of removing them, can I get present? Why am I not wanting to, why am I wanting to control something? Because if I don't control, some things might fall through. If I don't please, some people might reject me. If I don't accept the situations, it might lead into some authority figure getting angry. So I'm fearing consequences. So let me keep quiet. Instead of that is, you need to avoid keeping quiet in this time. You need to stop pleasing people. You need to stop fearing about the consequences because it hasn't happened. If it happens, let's see what happens. But you start studying them. Wherever I'm feeling this, wherever I'm getting these kind of inclinations, let me put a torchlight and get present to it. Then you trusting that God will hold me. Rakshasiyeti Viswasaha. So who is doing Rakshana to me? The God, my divine, my Amba, my Jagadamba, whomever you bestow upon. The ego self of you says, if I don't act as if I please others, if I don't control it now, things will fall apart. Things will definitely it'll create a damage to later to me. So you need to relook what are those themes that made you feel that you need to take care of things, you need to please everybody, you need to do things on your own, or else life starts getting unsafe for you. There are some people who might leave you, um who might fear you. So what are those incidents that happened from whatever times you remember? Those are the things that are created for you to remind that God wants you to work on you, and this is a trigger, a emotional karmic debt that you need to work on. So what happens whenever you have that anxiety to say yes when you really wanted to say no, whatever time you wanted to control certain things, whenever you want to let go, so somebody is asking for trust and you want to control, whatever that anxiety is there that builds up, tell it's okay. There is God. I can rest now. God will take care. I just have to align myself for a moment, be a strong me, and say, yes, I don't want to do this. I want to express my thing. I don't have to fight with that person. I don't have to be rude, but at least I can voice my opinion. I'm just telling you in one context. It can be in any other context also. Okay. So you need to tell that. And then what we look at is accepting life as how it comes. Like it is Goptirtva Varnana. So what is that? Usually what we expect is when I'm working so hard, why is this person like this? Why I don't have support? Why don't I have some love from people? Why is that the society is not buying in my idea? Why is that they don't understand my pain? Why is that this person never moves for me? Why is my manager so adamant? Why can't he see my view, or she can't appreciate me more? So we always cling to that person. We give the power to people around, situations, and emotions. That's a ego trap you might want to look at. So instead of seeing that these are the people, instead of giving the power, okay, outsourcing your work of you doing that action required to say no, you expect the other person to understand you and don't ask for a favor. So all your prayers will be, let the other person change, let the other person do, let the other person or this person be more understanding, let this person get quiet, this person, let him trust me more. Let It's always others. From where you need to bring your focus to you, saying that yes, they are so. I don't have a control on them. Only control I have is on me. So I don't have to cling to that idea that this person has to change or that person has to say. I don't have to cling to their change. What I might want to do is, what if nothing outside of me say anything about me, like she's so, or nothing they change for me, or if there is nothing they would do, what is that I live with? What is that I can do to make my goal successful? What is that I can do to help myself get harmony in this situation aligned with divine path? What is that one action I can do, accepting that nobody else will do it? So if it is like somebody is wanting, I feel unloved, instead of me assuming that other person will understand that I need love at this moment, can I ask them, can you please hug me? Can you please care about me? I am feeling lonely. Can you sit with me? Asking it. If you're feeling suffocated and because somebody is not trusting you, you might say very sweetly, I may not be able to do as efficiently as you, but is there a way you can offer me this freedom of trust or this piece of trust that this is how I'm gonna do. Don't get into ego again saying, why should I prove that person? It liberates you. So it's always good if you could do that. You're understanding my point? And the next, what you could do is, if there is some place you may want to say no, instead of expecting how the other person can't um, understand that you're already tired and why how can they put such requests, you need to man up and say, no, I really can't do it because I do have another commitment, or I am tired myself, may not be able to do it with quality. So that is where your authentic path begins, when you stand up on your power, not getting into your ego loops. Then Tarpanaya, what is it? Humility. Whenever you feel that instant fear, instant feel of rush of rejection, the fear of things might go wrong, or if someone will judge me, someone will shame me, someone will make me feel I am inadequate, someone will feel that this is not perfect, or I myself will feel I am inadequate, I'm lacking, I'm not perfect. Whatever that is, you don't have to cling to it again. Accept that this version of me is also worthy. I love myself. I love this version of mine, which is accepting shame in the stance of standing for herself or himself. I am saying to say no, to stand, express what is truth for me. I'm letting go of that control in the way of having freedom for me. And I'm letting go of that perfectionism in that feeling of having, don't want to get into this work alcoholism, or constantly nibbing about my own work and finding faults with myself endlessly and getting tired because I don't complete any of my work on time. So this is what is it. So you say, this is what is my version, and Ma, please give me guidance. I don't know, I can't do anything on my own without your guidance. So please express your humility. Ma, look, when I say no, I feel so small. Please move me from the state of small to understand my worth. Amma, when I leave this control, get so scared that people will mess up and I have to take the whole responsibility. Ma, please help me to trust others. I don't know what happened that I have not have this. I'm not able to trust others. So please help me. Without your guidance, I may not be able to trust others. Amma, I'm feeling inadequate when I make mistakes. Without you, it's not possible for me to not be making mistakes. So please guide me to be not making mistakes or doing things by right. So that's how you can realign yourself by not first rejecting the version that you are gonna get, because the version you're clinging on to is safe for you. So it always pinpoints those elements of growth. So what you, instead of you rejecting the new you, embrace the new you and start quieting the ego. So whenever you start doing things and when you accept certain growth, okay, if there are some successes, know that divine is helping you get to that success and surrender to that part. Ma, in this part I have done well, looks like this is what you want me to do more. These are some places I'm still struggling. Without you, I may not be able to get focus or a spotlight on what is that I may have to do more. Please give me that. Please give me that blessing to align myself with what you want me to do. So before going to bed, every day you might have to write what are the three accomplishments that you have done in the area you are struggling and offer it to God's feet. And the areas that you did not make any great progress, despite best efforts, your fear or any other lack or any negative emotion or negative thought has stopped you from taking the rightful action, ask Ma for guidance on it. Ma, I couldn't do this. Can you please give me grace? Bless me to take this action. And when you understand that surrendering begins when self rejection ends, you'll start loving that new version you're becoming. And slowly your confidence increases. And from there, what happens is, in a way, you're completely surrendering your Atma Nikshepa, which is the last step for surrendering, self offering, saying, what is that ego that is stopping me from taking these rightful actions? Just say, oh, I have fear of losing control. I have fear of being nothing. If I lose this, if I have fear of being humiliated, feeling, I have fear of being judged. So just look at what is that identity you're still every day gripping tightly and tightly and tightly. And even if it is limiting me in a way, even though there is somebody in in my head or in my heart which says take this action, and duly again and again, again and again, stopping myself from taking that action out of some feared consequence. So, can you please help me surrender that peace of mind? Please allow me to remove that one block. So, label that, whatever is that one thing you feel that if I don't do this, I will be left this. If I don't, if I don't take this action, I will be this. So, what is that? I will be called you are some knowledgeless person. If you know you are not loved, accept the fact that there is God who is loving me, and that God, I am loving God. So I don't need these people's love anyways. If it is determined, when God blesses, they anyways will love me. So can I not be around these, clinging to these people, but only cling to God's love? Can I trust that when I lean on God, God will not fail me? When I tightly hold on to that self of me, which is God driving, she or he will not allow me to fall. So can I just embrace that me that is fearing the most and completely give myself to God and say, I'm giving the control to you, do whatever you want to do. Whenever that has to happen, it will happen. Can you please allow me to work on this? So you don't have to work on being that identity anymore. Take actions out of liberation, freedom, what feels right for you, rather than what your ego is asking you to do. And when you feel that whenever you are trying to take some actions, that ego driven self is no more driving you to take actions, but you have started to take actions from love, from gratitude, from purpose, from satisfaction, from contentment, from true, from the truth, from the true love, because you love to do it, not because if you don't love it, somebody's not gonna love you. You gonna take some actions because you loved it, taking it. You stop being perfect because you feel you're confident in your work and abilities. You start voicing your concerns at work or at home because you know you are worth it. You start showing up your work to prove to the office or anybody, to tell that this is what is my work. I'm speaking my truth. I'm showing somebody my worth so that I can be in a better place to negotiate for my pay raise or something. Can I voice my truth? Can I stop seeking validation when there is, um, I know I have done great. This is my expectation and I have done great. And the expectation, the praise I am looking from people, can I focus it to God? And for a while stop people pleasing or seeking validation from people. Yes, I understand. Sometimes we want a human voice, but for a little while, embrace that discomfort. Embrace that discomfort that comes from you, instant validation from people, if that's what it feels good for you, or the instant fear that comes when you're losing that control. So just embrace the discomfort and say that whenever you're ready, I know you will do it. You will show me the path. But at this point, I'm okay to be not having a human confirmation, but I will still stand on my truth. Is there something I can do like this? So that is where, when you entirely feel the absence of that egocentricness, that is when you have mastered the art of surrendering. So, what is my parting words to you is, you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to feel superior. You just feel very quietly that I am whole, even if I am a mess. My total life is a mess, but still I'm a whole person because my messness is coming from some past life stuff. So let me look spotlight on what are the root areas this mess is coming, and can I take some actions aligned with divine truth. Every single time I have a need to react to my egocentric self, I take a 90-second break and align my actions to divine path. And that way, slowly, 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 when I'm backtracking from my egocentric to my divine will, every single time I am taking actions aligned with coming from lack or fear, or to prove somebody or to get something to compensate my today's lack. See how you can shift it, coming from a space of love, a bigger purpose, gratitude, or some positive emotion, which is coming from your truth, from your divine will. And even if you don't know what is that karma that is driving you into this current state, know that the more you take actions aligned with divine will, automatically the karma loop gets completed. After it comes back again and again, layer by layer, it test. And every single time when you're ready to follow this loop and take action with divine will, it totally leaves the grip. That ego loop completely dissolves, leaving you with liberation, which we call moksha, or that particular karmic loop. All of this duration with surrender, that's so simple. But if you start doing it with your own effort, it's a lengthy process, because the I is you here, the doer is you. You should shift your doerness from me to I am just the executor. The goddess Ma is the path driver. So she is what is driving my car of my life rather than me driving the car. So I'm not asking you to give your happiness or control to people. I'm asking you to give the control to your divine whom you believe and bestow, because oftentimes or sometimes these karmic loops are very, very difficult, stubborn. It is not possible to clear without divine grace. No matter how much we heal, without divine grace, some people will not be able to take rightful actions, even though when I tell them these are the things you might want to do. So imagine if there is, you yourself have to come in line with what is your divine pattern and work on it, it gets more difficult. So just see if this aligns with you. And from the next video, let's use some examples and see if we can follow the 6 steps for that particular problem. So we'll see how it shows up and what are some actions you can do to realign yourself with divine will. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with people whom you think will be useful, so that we can um, create a happy being in every soul's life. All right. Thank you so much.